Do you need to warm up your Tesla? That's the question. Well, yes you do. And you can tell by this gauge if you have it displayed on your Tesla. Right now you can see it is 37 degrees outside. It's having trouble focusing. But see that? Those dashes mean that the battery is not worn up. And usually if you go into regenerative braking, it'll go all the way down. But right now it won't. It will not go all the way down. I wish I could show this in focus. Yeah, it won't go all the way down because it's not fully warmed up. Even though I've been warming up the car for about, that's by putting the heat on. When you put the heat on, it warms it up. Put the heat on from your app. I've been warming the car for 15 minutes. And it's been so cold because my car has not been plugged in. If you don't plug your car in, you do need to warm your Tesla. See, now it's coming back. It's going back and forth. It can't decide. It's kind of on that edge. And I've warmed it up for 15 minutes. But you can see it's still turning regenerative braking, full regenerative braking on and off. When I first got in the car, these dots were all the way up almost to the KW markings, which is 0. They're not there anymore, as you can see. But you can also see it's not fully warmed up. And see how this looks like as you're driving on the road? That's how you can tell you're still not fully warmed up. And like I said, I've been warmed up for about 15 minutes before I got in the car. I turned the heat on with the app. When you turn the heat on with the app, you can see the app telling you that it's warming the battery up. But still not fully warmed. But yes, you do need to warm up your Tesla. Oh, I get a red light. So, and like I said, that means that the regular traditional brakes will come on. See, they're gonna come on if I go into heavy braking. It will do some regenerative braking down to that level. When it's super cold, it won't even let you do really hardly any regenerative braking. So right now we're at least getting some, as you can see. Let me put the autopilot back on, make it easier to drive. But still not fully warmed up. And again, like I said, this has been for a while. Your battery gets super cold. There's no way to keep it from getting like that in your Tesla because these batteries are not insulated. And my Tesla is an older one. It has regular old resistance heat strips, so it puts out a lot of heat to the battery in the fluid that circulates through the batteries. Newer Teslas have heat pumps. They take even longer to heat up, I would think. If you have a newer one with a heat pump, let me know in the comments. There, see, it's still trying to get off. It's still trying to get warmed up. It still can't get warmed up. It's still teetering on that edge. But yeah, I think that Teslas with heat pumps are going to take even longer to warm up. But most people will leave their car plugged in when you get home, which puts way too many charging cycles on the battery, if you ask me. But it does prevent the battery from cooling down. It keeps the battery warm when it's plugged in. I don't have a home charger. I never have, so I can't use that method. And as you can see, well, it's still not warmed up. Still. And we've been driving for some time. You see how this video goes on. And like I said, I had it preheating for about 15 minutes before I got in the car. Let's turn off. This is getting a little dicey here. Still not warmed up. Still can't make up its mind. You know, the way the system works is you've got cooling tubes that flow through all of the batteries, the thousands of batteries that are in your floor pan in the pack. And they've got temperature sensors so they can tell where those batteries are. And that's when they're going to allow more or full or in the middle regenerative braking, depending upon the heat of your pack in the wintertime. Even though this isn't wintertime, this is like mid to late April 2021, but it's really cold. Okay, there, we went off. Nope, came back on. You see? Let me go back. It's like it just can't make up its mind. No. So yes, you do need to warm up your Tesla in the winter time. In the winter time, warm up your car. You still gotta warm your car up. That old deal you thought was done with, huh? It's not done. You gotta warm this car up. Your electric car. Some packs in the future, like I know Atlas has talked about this, may be conditioned and may actually recognize what's going on themselves so that you won't have to do anything. And they'll automatically be at peak performance every time you step into the vehicle. But we're not there right now. And you can see my pack still is not fully warmed up. See, I thought I had enough time to warm this sucker up. Whoa. Sorry, that person next to me was getting really close. They're getting very impatient. This is Northern Virginia drivers for you. And we're in a construction zone. And they don't know that my battery pack isn't warmed up. Looks like I'm going a little too fast. So it's 45. Yeah, I am going a little too fast. Let's slow it down. This person's impatient. They're going anyway. My battery pack still isn't warmed up. Let me turn this autopilot off. It's getting a little dicey here. Still not warmed up, as you can see. Crazy. And I'm not kidding when I say 15 minutes. It may have even been longer than that, but I'd say 15 minutes was it that I warmed this pack up with my resistance heaters. I got mine is a 2016 Model X 90D, and I've got, 2017. It was built in February or March 2017. It took delivery in March. I got 167,000 miles on it. I'm gonna keep this rolling so you can see how long it takes, even after driving. And by the way, I'd already driven the car once. I moved it from its initial parking spot and let it warm up again while I was loading the car. So there's more to it that's taking place with the preheating of this car than you might think. I'm not going to do autopilot here. Alright, here is fine. We should have enough regenerative braking to not use the conventional brakes. The idea is to not have to use the conventional brakes. You don't want to, because whenever you use the conventional brakes, you basically are wasting energy. And that's true on an ICE car too, internal combustion engine car. It's just that you have no other choice. There's no regenerative braking. It looks like we're finally done. You can see it says 36. It actually dropped a degree since we were going. I think we're finally done. So this video took us almost 8 minutes. So really, it could take you almost a half hour at some point, depending on how cold it is. So let's say like 10 minutes to a half hour of turning on your heat from the app. That's what does it. When you turn on your heat from the app, you don't have to be near your car, because I'm not even near it. In addition to not having a charger, I have to walk like a quarter mile to get to my car. That's what you want to do. 15 to 30 minutes, depending upon the temperature outside, if it's cold. If it's warm, you don't have to worry about it. It doesn't affect regenerative braking on the warm end, just on the cold end. So if you have any comments, be sure to make them. Questions, ask them in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and that bell for notifications too. We'll see you in the next video. Oh no, I thought I was done. It's back. It's back after sitting at a traffic light and driving again. Look, it's still not warmed up. Oh my gosh. Oh, and by the way, it's more than just regenerative braking. It affects the whole performance of the car. It doesn't drive the same. Usually you let off your foot, right, and the car slows down very, very rapidly. That doesn't happen. So it's going to drive differently. It's going to surprise you if you're not used to it. I cannot believe it's back. I've had the heat on the whole time. The fluid, heating and cooling fluid, has been circulating through the batteries the whole time. And it's still telling me now that it's not fully warmed. That's crazy. But let's just keep it rolling. You can see the time on my clock where we are. It's 6:17, 6:18 in the morning now. And again, this is worse in cold climates and on super cold mornings. It's always cold just right before sunrise, right? Which is where we are. We're right at sunrise now. at some point it will be fully warm. We're heading to a supercharger. It knows that. Let me also tell you what version of autopilot we're on. 2021.4.15, and as you can see, 167,800 miles. Still there, still not warm, not fully warm. Maybe I don't think there's anything wrong with my heater. I mean, I feel the heat coming out of this car. I guess as you're transferring the cold out of the batteries and transferring heat to on the outside, there's going to be some cold that still flows through the batteries and makes it over to the sensors, wherever they're sensing. I don't know if they're sensing the temperature of the fluid. I don't know what's being sensed. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. Still not fully warm. You'll see that triangle. That triangle appears when it's about to transition and things go away. And it did appear before, as you saw, but there's no triangle now. It's just like saying, nope, you're just not warmed up yet. And I would also caution you to drive slower when you're not fully warmed up because of the performance difference in the car and you're not used to the braking not being as powerful. You do lose some braking because regenerative braking is some braking. And then you've got your mechanical brakes, but the mechanical brakes were never designed to operate 100% of the time in an all-electric vehicle. Because in order to keep it efficient, you've got to, oh, there it went away. You've got to use the regenerative braking. You won't get anywhere near the range. That's why on some of the older Teslas too, they used to have an option to have it on low, the 3 and the Y. That was marketing on Elon Musk's part because he didn't want there to be such a better reason or incentive to buy a 3 or a Y. I think they actually used it for testing with EPA. They put it on low mode so that they wouldn't get the highest rating. They even asked to have Model 3 scaled back, if you remember that? The actual range that they were getting, so they wouldn't cannibalize their own sales. All right, I think we're finally done now. Finally! Woo! All right. Yeah. Are we done? I think so. Yes. Well, we thought this last time too. If it comes back, I'll let you know, but I'm pretty sure this is the end of the video now. Pretty sure. And yep, it's already preconditioning. There's the sunrise.